Philippa Stroud is Chief Executive of the Centre for Social Justice, which was established by the Work and Pension Secretary Ian Duncan Smith when he was in opposition. Good morning.
Good morning.
So what about this tax credit business? He's up the old cul-de-sac with that one, if I may put it like that. How's he going to change? Is he going to phase it in? Is he going to... is he going to block the changes altogether? Is he going to make it only applicable for new claimants? What do you reckon?
Well, I think he's got a number of options. The most important thing that he needs to do with any change that he makes is protect work incentives. That's to support people moving into work and progressing in work. But he does have a number of options. So one of the things that we have proposed is that as he raises the national living wage year on year, and as he raises the tax threshold, both of which will give families more money in their pockets. So he phases and gradually reduces the tax credits. So the original plan was that the national living wage would rise gradually and the tax threshold would rise gradually, but the tax credits would come in straight away in April. And some people felt that that was not appropriate. So a phasing would be an appropriate solution to the challenge.
Something else has got to give then.
Well, I think that in his original 12 billion, his plan was to bring that in 2020. If he were to phase in the changes, the money that he would receive from tax credits would be delivered by 2020. What he would lose would be the savings in the early years. But his original plan, and as Paul Johnson from the IFS has said, as long as he gets that 12 billion in 2020, he can still meet his spending targets.
He's elsewhere. He's shown absolutely no desire to upset pensioners, has he?
No, that is correct. And I think one of the things that, we would be mindful of is not to make this a kind of battle of the generations. Enormous progress has been made in reducing pensioner poverty. And one of the things about pensioners is that they are the people who can least change their circumstances, which is why this government has been so committed to protecting them. Whereas people of working age, even though it is challenging, can in fact still make decisions to change their life circumstances.
Where else is there low-hanging fruit in the welfare budget, if I can put it like that?
Do you know, having worked with Ian, over a number of years, I'm not sure that low-hanging fruit is really something that exists in the welfare budgets. All of these choices are enormous choices and affect thousands of people.
This is the time to do it, though, in the early years of a parliament after you've won the election.
Absolutely, this is the time to do it. But the most important thing is that the focus is kept on moving people into work. The government's made enormous progress, created 2 million new jobs. 700,000 people are no longer claiming out of work benefits, having moved into work. We have the lowest number of unemployed people now in social housing since records began. This is enormous.
Yes, but the other side of it, coming from the Centre for Social Justice.
Yeah.
A lot of people, it's the nature of those jobs. A lot of people are really suffering. There is still far too much child poverty in this country. The fact that there's any child poverty is a disgrace.
Yes, absolutely. And one of the things that...
Is George Osborne on their side?
One of the things that we have put out is a letter to the Chancellor. In the Prime Minister's speech at conference, he called for an all-out assault on poverty. And the Centre for Social Justice has outlined plans for how he could do that, particularly in an age of austerity, which is a challenging time in which to do it. So we have said the government has a new life chances agenda. It is about reversing family breakdown. It's about raising educational standards. It's about getting people off drugs, out of debt and into work. And we have said, take your main social programs, your Trouble Families program, your work program, your universal support, and make sure that all the outcomes that you're seeking from those programs are to lift people out of poverty and give them every life chance available.
So that should be the watchword rather than politics. Thanks for your view.